Hey guys, it's Arlecchino here, back with another video. I'm sorry it's been so long, I've just been really busy. I've had loads of deadlines recently come up, so I've been having to meet them. I am a student in uni at the moment, which is why I'm kind of struggling with work, but I've got on top of that now, so I'm able to bring you more content. And you might be noticing that there is a change of scenery today. That is because I'm currently on holiday, so the desk that I have in my holiday room is not big enough for a playmat, it's not big enough for me to bring anything, so all I've got with me is 2 decks. So the next 3 or 4 weeks of videos are just going to be me. So this week's going to be a combo video, a deck profile for the Abyss Actor deck I've got in front of me. Next week will be a combo video for that deck. And the week after that, I'll do a Dogmatika deck profile. And the week after that, a Dogmatika combo tutorial. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this Abyss Actor deck profile for 2025. So as always, we will be starting with the monsters now, guys. As always, again, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you do want more content. I'll try and be more consistent from now on. You're probably thinking, why Abyss Actors, right? Well, I've been playing this deck at locals a lot recently, and I know that it's not the best and the interrupt isn't that good, but the thing is, a lot of people don't know what this deck does, and I've actually been ranking up quite a few wins against Malice and Ryzeal with this, and I did lose to Plunder Patrol, but that was a one-off, guys. This deck is insane. Loads of people don't know what it does, and the first card we're going to be running is 3 of Curtain Raiser. This card's insane. If we control a monster, you can special summon it from your Pendulum Zone once per duel, and then it gains 1100 attack if you control no other monsters. Here's the key effect though. Once per turn, you can send an Abyss Script spell from your deck to your grave and a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. This gives you free recycling and is a soft once per turn, meaning if you get this card out multiple times, you can use it multiple times, which is an insane effect to have in a Pendulum deck. Now, I love this card. It's a necessary 3-of because it's your starter, it's your extender, it's everything. Next, we got 3 of Abyss Actor extras. Now, I am working with a bit less space today, guys, as you can tell. But extras, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your Pendulum Zone. So it's like Curtain Raiser, but you have to control a monster, they have to control a monster, which is annoying. Then you can tribute it and place an Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your deck in your Pendulum Zone. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon except Abyss Actor monsters. Or activate the pendulum effects of Abyss Actor extras again. So yeah, it's like 1 effect per turn and only once that turn. And no, hang on a minute. Oh yeah, you can't activate the effect afterwards, but it's like, the reason it's kind of an annoying card is because you can dodge Imperm and Veiler with it because it tributes the cost. However, if they Imperm or Veiler on summon, it's kind of useless because the cost itself doesn't give you anything apart from the dodge. But this card is insane. It places our effects, it places our Curtain Raiser to get us started with our combos, as you will find out next video. It places our main effect monsters. It's exactly what you need. You need to be seeing this at 3 of. Next, we got 3 of Abyss Actor Wild Hope. Now, Wild Hope is an insane card. It's basically everything you need. It's once per turn, it gains 100 attack for each Abyss Actor monster you currently control, and then if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add an Abyss Actor card from your deck to your hand. That's not a monster or a spell trap, it's a card. You can just add whatever you want from your deck to your hand, which is insane. It also has a pendulum effect that you can make another pendulum scale 9, which is quite nice for the pendulum summons, especially with the Evil Heal OTK monster that I'll be showing you in a minute. Next, we got 3 Mellow Madonna. So this card is probably one of the best cards in the deck. It's Pendulum Scalers that you pay 1000 life points, add an Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters from your deck to your hand. However, this does lock you into Pendulums, which is slightly annoying. Gains 100 attack for each Abyss Script in your grave, and then when a Pendulum monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can special summon it from your hand. And then, if an Abyss Script spell card or effect is activated, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your deck, but return it to the hand during the end phase. Now, this card is one of the best cards in the deck. It gets searches for everything. It can be summoned quite easily because it's a level 7, and it's got a bit of beat stick effect to it too. I think that you got to be running this card at 3 of, and I think this deck really is quite good this format. I think that it's a cheap deck, you know, all of these cards are basically pennies except for Evil Heal, which is like a quid, so you should be picking this deck up. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's a brilliant deck, fun to play, and I would recommend it. Next, we got 2 Abyss Actor Superstar, which I will place here. So Abyss Actor Superstar, once per turn, you can do this as a pendulum effect. Once per turn, tribute an Abyss Actor monster, then target an Abyss Script spell in your grave and add it to your hand. And then its monster effect, when it's normal or special, your opponent's spell, trap cards, and effects cannot be activated. So this gives you protection when you pendulum summon. They can't, if you pendulum summon this, as well as loads of other stuff, they can't activate spell or trap cards or effects in response to that pendulum summon. And then so you can't be solemned, which is what's nice about this deck. It protects your pendulum summon from solemns, which is really lovely. Then once per turn, you can set an Abyss Script spell directly from your deck, but it is sent to the graveyard during the end phase. So that gives you basically the Abyss Tainment, which is part of the main combo, as we'll see in a minute. I dropped a Comic Relief, which is why I bent over there. Next we have our 2 of Comic Relief. This card is brilliant. It doesn't really do anything on field, it's just if control of it's switched, so basically you give it to your opponent and then its effect pops your back row for you, because that's what the gimmick of this deck is, as you'll see in a minute. But its Pendulum Scale is a creature swap. So you target an Abyss Active Pendulum monster you control and a monster your opponent controls, and switch control of both, then destroy this card. That is a permanent switch, so if they have a piece of interrupt you like a DDD Wave High King Caesar, it's yours now, baby. But yeah, this card is brilliant. Definitely a 2 of in case you draw it, because it is a level 3, so you can just normal summon it to start your combos as well, which is quite nice. Next we have our 1 of Evil Heal. Super clean secret rare there. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's just a really, oh, there we go. Lovely secret rare. So, if it's normal or special summoned, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and it loses 1,000 attack for each Abyss Active monster you currently controls until the end of this turn, which is insane. It basically just makes anything your opponent controls lose about 5,000 attack, which gets over basically every big body that your opponent could summon at the moment. Then when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you set an Abyss script from your graveyard. Then its Pendulum effect is that once per turn you contribute an Abyss Active monster, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and it loses attack equal to the original attack of the tributed monster until the end of the turn. So Evil Heal is kind of your best beat stick option. It is the best option for getting around big bodies. Has 3,000 attack, makes the big body have 0 attack, and then you can attack over it. It's really lovely, really nice clean card art. The only issue I have with this card is that most of the time you're getting scale 0 to scale 8. This is a level 8, so you need to get 0 to 9, which is where you have to use Wild Hope's effect, which can be quite annoying to set up, but I do think that if you need it, you can. Most of the time, you aren't really going through your Evil Heal for the OTK though, and you will see what I mean in the combo video. Next, we got our 3 1-ofs, 1 of Abyss Actor Sassy Rookie, 1 of Abyss Actor Leading Lady, and 1 of Abyss Actor Funky Comedian. So Sassy Rookie is just nice. It's a sticky body that you can summon off the Mellow Madonna, and then every turn, the first time it will be destroyed, it isn't, and then if it's destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Abyss Actor from your deck. So it's recursion, it's sticky because your field spell requires you to have an Abyss Actor Pendulum summoned monster on the field. So if you Pendulum summon Sassy Rookie, it's much harder for your opponent to out, because of the fact that it can be, it has to be destroyed twice basically. Next we got Abyss Actor Leading Lady, so once per turn when you take battle damage from an opponent's attacking monster, that's the Pendulum Scale, you can activate one of these effects. That opponent monster loses attack equal to the damage you took, or you add one face of Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand with attack less than or equal to the damage you took. So it's a bit of recursion in the battle phase, and then once per turn when battle damage is inflicted, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, it loses attack equal to that battle damage. So and then when it's destroyed by battle, or if this card in its own response zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you set an Abyss script spell directly from your deck. So it's a bit of recursion, a bit of battle phase protection. You're not really going to be going through her much. I just got her because I find that I don't sometimes draw enough Abyss Actor names, which is why I'm boosting up a bit. Same with the Funky Comedian. Basically, he gains on summon, he gains 300 attack for each Abyss Actor you control until the end of the turn, and then you can target another monster you control, destroy Funky Comedian, and then give that monster his attack. Really great effect. It means that you're boosting up your monsters with him, and also he is a scale 8, so you can use him instead of your Funky Comedian, which can be quite, not Funky Comedian, your Comic Relief, which can be quite nice, because you need to be making big scales in this deck. Then, once per turn, you contribute an Abyss Actor monster, target an Abyss Actor monster your opponent controls, you control, and it gains attack equal to the original attack of the tributed monster. So this just helps you get over big bodies, and you're not going to be searching this going first, obviously. Same with Leading Lady, and the Evil Heal actually, but I think that these 2 cards are really great at the moment. A lot of people only run these packaged, but I just like these 2. 1, because their art and rarities are really nice, but 2, I just think that they are quite nice effects to have in the deck. So yeah, now we're going to move on to the hand traps. That is probably the poorest pickup job I've ever done in Yu-Gi-Oh! There we go. So, for the hand traps, we've got 3 of our Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Oh, not the lamp there that I'm using to hold my phone up. Yeah, I'm having to use a lamp to hold my phone up because of the situations I'm in. Let me readjust a little bit. There we go. So we got 3 of our Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, which is just a solid card right now. I think Ash has always been a solid card in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it still is. It's just a negate when they try and search the deck. I don't really need to explain what this card does, do I? Next we got 2 Droll. So we're running Droll for 2 reasons. 1, cross out Designator stops us getting drolled. This deck doesn't really care about Droll that much per se, but Droll's just nice to have, and it does work for Crossout, but also everyone suffers to Droll at the moment. Ryziel, Malice, who else? What else is good at the moment? Gem Knight suffers to Droll, so Droll is just a nice card to have, and I solidly recommend that you run 2 or 3. I'm running 2 because I've had to compromise my other hand trap spaces for Crossout targets. So that is 1 Ghost Ogre and 1 Effect Veiler. Because we're playing a Pendulum deck that relies a lot on the normal summon, getting Ghost Ogre or getting Effect Veiler really can mess up some of our plays, which is why I'm running both of these as Crossout targets. Added on to that, they're just decent in Yu-Gi-Oh! All the time. I think that these cards are necessary, and that's why you should definitely consider running them in your Abyss Active deck profile. Now, let's move on to the spells. For the spells, I have 3 Abyss Active Dress Rehearsal. This card is probably one of the most insane pieces of paper ever made in this game. So it, at the start of your main phase 1, adds an Abyss Active card and an Abyss Script spell from your deck to your hand. And then for the rest of the turn after it resolves, you cannot Pendulum Summon except Abyss Active monsters. So you get a free search of combo and an extender just because you can. It's insane. It's brilliant. It's basically, you know, it's everything the deck needs. It's not once per turn, but you can only activate it at the start of your main phase, which is why that clause is on there. It makes it once per turn, and it means you have to do it right at the start, which can be quite annoying. You can't really hand trap bait and then activate Dress Rehearsal. You have to activate Dress Rehearsal, hope it doesn't get negated, and then go into other plays. But most of the time, you waste their negate on the Dress Rehearsal and then let you combo off elsewhere. So I think this card is a necessary 3 of. When it goes off, brilliant. When it doesn't go off, it doesn't matter that much either. So definitely be running 3 of this. Next, we got an Abyss Script Dramatic Story. Basically, you target an Abyss Active Pendulum monster you control, special summon a different Pendulum monster, a different Abyss Active from deck, then pop the Pendulum monster you targeted or place it in the Pendulum zone. This is insane, you know, it's free search, free extension, and then it also gives you the pop, which can give you your effects on a lot of Abyss Actors. The key part we're looking at with this card though, however, is its destruction effect. The gimmick of Abyss Actors relies around the field spell here. Basically, you activate this in your opponent's turn using your monster, and then anytime they activate a monster effect, it's changed to pop one of your back row, which means that, so I'll just put this here for now, which means that all your back row has effects. Dramatic Story, when it's destroyed, it bounces up to 2 cards on the field that your opponent controls, which is insane. Next, we have Abyss Tainment, which tributes an Abyss Actor and sets an Abyss Script from the grave. Considering Curtain Raiser's effect, which dumps Abyss Scripts to add back, this card combos perfectly with that, tributing anything to set those scripts and then give you Interrupt in the form of Fantastic Theatre. Opening Ceremony, its normal effect is pretty trash. It gains 500 life points for each Abyss Actor monster you control, which is I guess quite good in time because you do pay 1,000 life points, so this kind of saves you in time because most of the time you're going to be gaining 2,500 to 3,000 attack off of this effect. But its pop effect, you draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. Sorry, what? The main 1-card combo ends with 1 card in hand, so if you use this one, you get to draw 4 cards in your opponent's turn, which because of the hand traps we're running, the Ghost Second cards we're running, you're basically going to draw into something good. You know, you're not going to draw into something bad with that card, which is why this is a necessary one-off in the deck. Next, one of that a lot of people don't run, but I am, is Romantic Terror. You return an Abyss Active Pendulum monster you control to the hand, and if you do, special summon from your extra deck in defense 1 face-up Abyss Active Pendulum monster with a different original name from that monster. So it's Imperm dodge, it's Effect Veiler dodging, it's Ghost Ogre dodging, you know, it's a really solid card. It gives you recursion because it puts it back in the hand. But then, if it's destroyed when it's set, you can set any number of Abyss Script spells from your deck. So you set 1, 2, 3, if you have room. You can even set the 4th one that I'll show you in a second. But that is an insane effect. Do you know what I mean? That is basically give yourself loads of interrupt, but also give yourself loads of follow-up, because you can set Dramatic Story, you can set Abyss Tainment, and then they give you playthrough for your next turn. So I think this card is a necessary one-of. I'm even thinking of bumping this card to 2, to be honest, because of how good a utility it is in this deck. Finally, for the Abyss archetype cards, where we've got 1 Abyss Script, Rise of the Abyss King. You target face, this one we're running for its main effect, not its pop effect. Target face-up cards on the field up to the number of attack position Abyss Actor monsters with different names you control and destroy them. If you control a level 7 or higher Abyss Actor monster, your opponents cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. So because of the combo, you summon Superstar. Superstar sets Rise of the Abyss King from the deck. You activate Rise of the Abyss King, your opponent cannot respond, and you wipe their board. For free. What? This card is insane. It is one of the best cards that the archetype has seen, and a necessary one of, maybe even two of, in this deck. If you are interested in its pop effect, you can add up to 2 Abyss Actor cards or Abyss Script spells with different names from your deck to your hand when it's destroyed. I think this card is one of the best cards in the deck. It's been my MVP for loads of games. It's helped me win loads of games. It's helped me play through boards. It's everything the deck needs, and is the perfect card for the deck. You need to be running this card at 1 or 2. Has a super clean secret rare that I'm trying to pick up at the moment, but until then, I'm playing the common. So that is it for our Abyss. Oh yeah, one more thing about Abyss Playhouse actually, is that you can reveal an Abyss Actor Pendulum and an Abyss Script spell in your hand, and add an Abyss Script spell with a different name from your deck to your hand, which is quite good as well. And then when you pendulums, oh, and then that's the negate effect. So yeah, that is why I think this deck is quite insane. You've got, because the Playhouse doesn't negate the effect, it switches the effect to pop your back row, so it gets around any, I guess, activation dodge, because it doesn't even activate as an effect. It's like Rise Your Cross, where it happens on resolution. Say your opponent activates Sprite Sprined, then you activate your monster that places Abyss Playhouse. Sprine's effect will be changed, not negated, which is why it's such an insane card, and then they can't use Sprined again. So I think this card is insane. It's a brilliant card. I'm surprised we haven't seen more interrupt in the changing form. I think it's a really interesting kind of interrupt, and it's really well done and well thought out in the deck. Finally, we have 1 copy of Crossout and 1 copy of Cool Buy. These are just to dodge any hand traps, but the deck's pretty consistent, so I wouldn't worry about that. But yeah, that is it for the spells. Finally, for the main deck, we have 3 copies of our Infinite Impermanence. Just a solid hand trap at the moment, I think everyone could agree that. And kind of necessary in the current format because of the decks that are meta, because of the opponents you're going to be seeing, you need Imperm to compete. But yeah, that is it for the main deck. Now let's move on to the extra deck. So to begin with, we got 2 Abyss Actor Hyper Director, an archetypal Link 1. Yeah, so you can tell this card's going to be busted. So it requires 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster, then you target a card in your Pendulum Zone, special summon it, and place an Abyss Actor Pendulum monster with a different name from your deck or face-up extra deck to your Pendulum Zone. Also, you cannot normal or special accept Abyss Actors for the rest of the turn. Basically, you get a free body on board, and you get a free extender in your Pendulum Zone, free search, and it plays around Ash because it's placed rather than searched. So this card's insane, but it's a 2-off because of the tight extra deck space and the low attack. Next, we got 2 Abyss Actors Super Producer, so 2 monsters including a Fiend. Great against Plunder Patrol actually, because if they give you a Fiend token, you can link it off. But I mean, you can do Fiendsmith combo and then go into this card. That is the one thing I would say. If you have a Fiendsmith engine, put it in this deck. I don't have an engine because it's expensive and I'm on college student funds, but if you do, play it with this deck. So first effect is during them. So both of its effects are quick effects. During the main phase, quick effect, target a face-up card you control, destroy it, then apply one of these effects. The destruction seems neggy, but that's kind of the gist of the archetype. It's not gonna hurt you. It's kind of beneficial to you. You can pop Wild Hope, get a search. It's that kind of thing, you know. So first, you can place an Abyss at Playhouse Fantastic Theatre from your deck face up in your field zone, or you can place an Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your deck in your Pendulum Zone. Both of these play around Ash, you know, that's the great thing about this deck. It plays around Ash, it plays around Droll, it's only really affected by Imperm, Ogre, Veiler, and no one's really running Veiler at the moment. Everyone's running Imperm and Droll and Ash, so, and the Charmies obviously, but I don't have them because they're expensive. But this card is insane. It gives you a search in your turn, and then in your opponent's turn you pop Wild Hope, place the field spell as an interrupt, which is insane because you chain it on their thing and then place the field spell, so they don't know that it's going to get negated until the chain resolves, and then also gives you a pop and a search. So brilliant Link 2. Amazing art on both of these. Yeah, that's it for the archetypal Link 2s. Next, archetypal links. Next we have 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix. You know what this card does, discard and destroy a card on the field, so destroy a spell trap that is, so it's quite nice. Big fan of it. I think that a lot of people aren't running the Nightmares anymore, but I think you definitely should be. Next we got SP Little Knight. If your combos really do get interrupted that hard, you can just summon this and it's a free banish until the end phase, and I think that is brilliant. Next we got Beyond the Pendulum. Did you really think you were going to see a Pendulum deck list without Beyond the Pendulum? Pay 1,000, search a Pendulum monster. Insane. And then if 2 monsters with different original levels are Pendulum summoned, you can target 2 cards on the field and destroy them. So this card is insane. I think that it's one of the best cards in the deck because of the 3 card, well, it's 2.5 card combo. It's quite easy to get to in this deck that uses that and gets an Omni, a pop, and 2 bounces. So, and a monster negate. So quite solid, brilliant card in the deck. Next we got Exceed the Pendulum, a newer Link 3. I'm really glad this card has been printed in Age of Overlord. It's an insane card. So 2+ effect monsters including a pendulum, then gains 100 attack for each pendulum card you control. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If it's link summoned, you can add a face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. Then during the main phase, quick effect, special summon a pendulum monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position with a level between the pendulum scales of the 2 cards in your pendulum zones. So basically, you get recursion and you get a body on board, which is phenomenal. It's exactly what the deck needs, and it just gives you more follow-up, more combo, as you will see in my next video. Definitely an integral piece of M board now, this one, because the special summon is quick effect, by the way, which is why this card's so great. Next we got a Bagooska, the Terribly Tired Tapir. Everyone knows what this card does, just a generic rank 4 that can stall for time if you really need it. I'm then running 1 Time Thief Redoer, just generic rank 4 again, and it's a draw 1 if it attaches a spell, and we're running quite a lot of them. Then finally, number 106, Giant Hand. It's just a monster negate that you get to in your combo. Could definitely be something else like Tornado Dragon if you're playing against spell and trap decks, but I'm running the Tornado Dragon in my side deck. Might put it in the main deck instead of the Redoer, because the Redoer's felt a bit redundant. That's just the ratios I'm running at the moment. Next we got the combo package of Odd Eyes Absolute and Odd Eyes Vortex. Basically, generic rank 7, when it goes to grave, summons this. So you link this off, summon this. Vortex Dragon is an Omni negate if you control a pendulum monster in the face-up extra deck. So exactly what the pendulum deck needs, really, which is what this has, you know, lots of pendulum monsters. If you have, say, I don't know, Wild Hope face up in extra deck, summon Vortex when they activate an effect, return Wild Hope to the deck, bam, your Vortex Omni negates. It's a brilliant card and definitely need to be running it. Finally, we're running the 1 of Typhon and the 1 of Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. Now, I don't think I need to tell you how good these cards are. They are exactly what the game needs. They're just free bodies that most decks can make and kind of help you win grind games. I mean, if you summon them, you are kind of already losing, but a lot of the time they give you that push, they give you that final, you know, final bit you need to win the game, and I think that they are stellar cards. So yeah, that is it for the extra deck. But yeah, so that has been my Abyss Actor deck profile. I do hope you enjoyed. Obviously, if you have any questions about the deck, do feel free to ask them down below. I'm really well versed on this deck. I've been playing it for years, and then I've decided to play it in real life, and I've been doing great at locals. Went 2-2 last week, but I'm sure that was my first one with it. I mean, I'm taking it next week as well. I think I'm going to go 3-1. I kind of misplayed a load, which is why I lost my games. It was really annoying, but I think this deck can do brilliantly. I mean, I've been winning everything I play online. I think that this deck is really slept on. People don't know what it does, don't expect it, and then they lose. So I think you really should be playing this deck, this format. But yeah, that has been my deck profile. As always, like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and tell me what you want to see in the comments. I've been Arlecchino, King of Cards, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.